and these two people actually interacting with each other, and through this process they judge you. Take an example of 1 year child who is sleeping. Just take an example. A child is sleeping and that baby is just woke up, and you're looking at that baby. That baby will react to you. He doesn't understand the grammar of Marathi and either of English. He doesn't know verb and sentence structure, but he will understand you whether you're good or bad through your body language. What actually your personality consists of, number one. Second, your body language. Third, your communication skills. And fourth, how to groom in this cutthroat competition. Indirectly, you are selling yourself. And if you want to sell yourself, you should have two weapons. Good morning. Before starting, I would like to know you people who actually I am, and why you people should be here for around 2 hours. So this is Mahesh Patil, and I am MBA in marketing. I worked in Infosys in Bangalore for 1.5 years. So during that period, I was actually the part of training program. I was the part of HR management. So in that period, I attended a lot of training programs and learned how to represent yourself. And it was the only process through which I grown up and I developed my personality. So basically, before joining Infosys, I was just a normal guy like you. So I was graduated with a little certificate, having no knowledge. So when I joined it, I understood what actually your personality consists of. Number one. Second, your body language. Third, your communication skills. And fourth, how to groom in this cutthroat competition. So when I talked with my friend Yuvraj sir, I was actually interested to make you aware about what actually communication and body language is. So you are supposed to be the tomorrow's officer, right? I was also supposed to be the tomorrow's officer, but I couldn't crack my UPSC. But in that UPSC experience, the process, the journey I've gone through, I learned a lot of things and I enshrined them in my personality. So today's session will be all about your interview skill, number one, number two, your communication skill, and number three, your body language. So this session will be in bilingual, English and Marathi. I think it will be okay with you. And there will be no botherness. I will use some sort of Marathi words as well. So before beginning, now let me clear one thing. It was era in 2009, I was searching a job and it was a recession. And I was going through Wipro, Mahindra, Infosys, a lot of companies I gone through. And before that, I was preparing for interview skills. I joined a lot of agencies and people as well to learn what interview actually consists of. So I was just mugging up the data, going through the history of the company, getting some sort of information and just putting them in front of HR people. And people used to reject me. They directly reject me. So I actually was rejected around more than 20 companies, and at the last I joined Infosys. But in that 20 companies, why did they reject me? There was actually a reason. There was a reason. And meanwhile, in 2011, I also applied for RBI examination where I was going through the same process of interview, and the same happened there. And I was again rejected. So what was the difference? That the company, the corporate world rejected me first, and second, the government sector rejected me second. So what went wrong actually that I did not get the qualification? The thing was my presentation. And that I realized after the session was over. After the process was gone. Then I came across the various books and process on the people, and there was an era of internet after 2013, and we had a lot of huge information on YouTube. So there was no YouTube actually. There was YouTube, but there was no internet connection. It was just 2G generation in 2008. So there hardly you need to sit in hours and hours to just surf the net and get the information, right? So when that internet and that era and the booming new age was developed, in 2013-14, and then I gone through the various YouTube, various books, and then I realized, oh, what actually my mistake was, and how I could have been, conquered it. So the past is over. Now here you are. So I see you as the same process at the same level where I was before 1 decade, right? So now see, I'm talking with you. I don't know your name. I don't know your surname. I don't know your ideology. I don't know what you believe, what you like, and what you don't like. But still, I can judge you. I can judge you easily. So Indian society is judgmental. Basically, we are judgmental. We are completely judgmental. Why? Because a heterogeneous group we are. heterogeneous. Somebody belongs to particular caste, religion, ideology, political ideology. Everybody is different, and accordingly we judge. Now, right now, I am judging you who is smarter in the class. And I would definitely say that he is smarter, she is smarter. On what basis I am, judging your smartness? One thing, the way, the gesture, the position you are sitting. Now, some of you people holding your hands, some of you people are playing with your fingers, some of you are actually looking at me in a very nervous manner. So your body language is giving me some sort of attributes of your personality. So you make it better. Now just take an example. If I stand like this represents a friendliness, that I do not have a barrier between student and me. If I present like this, so this is the sophistication, a professional way. If I put like this, so this is again a presentation of a manner that my audience is matured. And if I stand in this way and I am not changing my position, that I am particularly belong to a traditional method of delivery of communication. So your gesture and your posture actually nothing, but it represents your personality. Now just take an example. Now remember the day one of your college, remember the day one of your class. Even same right now, the person sitting aside you, the person who is near you, you don't know the name of the person, but you can judge him or her, like how he looks, how she wears, or how she actually presents themselves. Are you getting my point? So we judge at the very first level, not with the communication, but with the body language. Now, we'll do one thing, we'll survey one thing, we'll just go out the class, we'll just walk around the street, and I will ask you to take the pen and just note it down which personality, which person actually you feel that is attracted in terms of looking. So you will definitely see the attire, the dressing style of the person, and will tell me that XYZ person walking around the street, I think I get attracted. But in reality, that person's thinking, his maturity, his education, his looking forward towards the people, his generosity, you don't know about it. You don't know even he is good or bad, even he is a criminal or he is a good citizen, you don't know. Whether he belongs to XYZ category or XYZ caste, you don't know. But you can easily, directly judge with his appearance. So now, the thing that I am going to explaining here is your body language and your presentation. And what presentation I am talking about, that is attire. Now look back. Take an example. Mahesh Patil here guiding you some sort of ideology, guiding you some sort of tips with regards to your interview skill. And imagine I wear today t-shirt and jeans pant. That represents some sort of different ideology. If I wear some sort of Western clothing, that again represents some sort of different ideology. But today, when I thought yesterday that tomorrow is going to be happening my lecture of interview, so I wore a very decent and formal dressing so that people should take me seriously first. Second, the color I chose, that is actually formal in terms of that directly belongs to the interview process again. Third, when I was combing just putting out my hairstyle in a right manner so that it should be feel like I am the right person to guide you for interview. So my hairstyle, my shirt color, my watch, my body language, my trouser, my shoes, even the color of the shoes, that everything should be fit so that people should take me seriously. Now, leave everything apart, that interview skill and competitive examination and this post and that post. Now, think about it. Why I am here today is not to guide you, is to sell you myself. I am actually selling you in these 2 hours. Why? Because you are actually paying me. You are actually paying me for what? You want to learn from me something and I want to give you something. But before that, you need to trust me that yes, he is a legible person. He is actually having a good knowledge and he will teach me. He will guide me. Accordingly, I am making my personality. Get my point? Now tomorrow you people join me as a lecturer. We'll have integrated batch. And I'm asking you tomorrow that yes, tomorrow will be a demo lecture and there will be more than 400 people. You will have to represent yourself on the stage and your subject, respective subject, like GS1, 2, history, polity, whatever. You will have to come over here and deliver a lecture. Now, your thinking will start, whether will I deliver a lecture properly to the 400 people? Second, will I be that much confident to make my things clear to the people? Third, will I be able to represent myself in the right body language. Fourth, will people ask me question? Fifth, will I be some sort of in a fear or anxiety? That sort of question will be in their mind if I ask you directly to come tomorrow and teach people. Are you getting my point? Samajhta, right? So I'm just generalizing the thing. What generalizing the thing? Ki as a lecturer, when you are here, you think about the prospect. As an officer, the same way we should go in. When I was a interviewee or interviewer, there are two kinds. A person who actually asks you question and a person who answers the question. There are two people, and these two people actually interacting with each other, and through this process they judge you. They judge you, and what kind, what process, what idea, what knowledge they judge you, that's only 20 minutes, 15 minutes you present themselves. Indirectly you are selling yourself, and if you want to sell yourself, you should have two weapons. Number one is your communication skill, and number two, your body language. Without body language and without proper communication, you cannot, deliver the thing that you want. Take an example of A.R. Rahman. Have you heard about him? A.R. Rahman. Everybody knows A.R. Rahman. He is the greatest person in music industry of India. Now, A.R. Rahman, and take another person who is his competitor. Like just take another example like Kapil Sharma. Take these two people. Kapil Sharma is an entertainer, A.R. Rahman is an entertainer. A.R. Rahman works well, but A.R. Rahman is a characteristic, is a personality of introvert. And the same way if you compare with Kapil Sharma, he is extrovert. Now, who is more popular? Kapil Sharma. Now, if there is just take an example, there is a program held by A.R. Rahman, people will attend it, but will talk less about him. But if there is an arrangement of a particular program in Pune of Kapil Sharma, people won't attend it, but will talk more about him. That is the difference. That is the difference. Rakhi Sawant hasn't got any assignment with the film. We haven't seen her in any other film. Even she doesn't act well, but everybody is talk about her controversies or debate or news. Why? Because she's extrovert. See, if you have knowledge, now take an example like this row belongs to the MIT college and this row belongs to the ZP school. And this row having a huge knowledge of a particular subject like BSc, BCom, MCom, whatever the degree they have. But they are introvert in terms of expressing. And these people belong to ZP1 and these people having less knowledge as compared to yours and they are extrovert. Definitely they will have more age than you. Because they express, and when person expresses, he has more advantage than the competitor. Very simple. Now go back to your college. There was a presentation. Have you gone through that presentation, that PPT presentation that we just need? What we used to do, actually we used to just read the PPTs, right? We had no power to explain in detail. So just take an example ki I had that presentation, PowerPoint presentation 2010, the nano car. That was my project, nano car, how it evaluated, what was the market prospect and how it failed in the market. So the nano car's picture was there was no PPT and I used to just read it, the PPT. There wasn't some sort of sentences, I used to read it, that's it over. And I just was thinking when I will be out of this stage. So I was more thinking about going out rather than the content. Get my point? So same way, when you actually will present yourself in front of the people, you will have more thinking when this interview will over. So point that I'm trying to deliver is anxiety and fear that will kill you. Anxiety and fear. And how that comes, take an example. We'll start now singing competition here. I will ask everybody to come here and just sing for half minute or 1 minute. Now, if she comes here, she starts singing. Meanwhile, the second number, the second turn will be hers. So she will enjoy less of her singing and will more thinking about her next turn. Are you getting my point? She won't enjoy the whole process, but she will, her heart start beating. She starting sweating and she will like shriveling. What will happen next? The same process it's here. So how it ends? That's very simple. How it ends. Now, when there is a botheration, when there is anxiety, when there is a fear, why we have that in mind? The point number one is thinking of failure. When you are failure thinking that yes, I can fail, the same way the anxiety comes. Take an example. If India wants 1 ball and 6 runs, there is only 1 ball remaining and 6 runs we require. And take an example that Rahane is batting, Ajinkya Rahane is batting. We definitely will say that India will lose the match. And the same way that Pandey is batting, we'll definitely say that India will win the match. That is the confidence level. That is the confidence. Why we do have confidence that India will win the match when Pandey is playing? Because we believe in him. And why we are thinking negative with that India will lose the match when Ajinkya Rahane is playing? Because we believe in him still that he will not hit the 6. The same prospect when we apply to the external world, why don't we apply to the internal? Are you getting my point? There was an easy talk between me and my friend Yuvraj sir. We had tea in the morning and he said, you can't deliver lecture properly because you haven't been in such a part of this program ever in your life. And I was just smiling at him and I told him that I will continue my lecture at 11 and will end at 5. And he started laughing and he said, how that? And that was the only thing in my mind was confidence. And that's 20 minutes over. I haven't talked anything about the interview. Anything. No tips, no guideline, nothing else. And you are still with me. Why? Because of the one thing is confidence. Whether I am selling you today my book, you will pay me and you will give me money with, even though the book doesn't need you. I will make it sure that you will buy it. That's the truth. So, the 20 minutes lecture is over. Now come out of this box. Think about it. You, as selling to me, I am taking your interview right now. I am just conducting your interview right now. So point number one is don't bother. This one interview will not change your life, will not kill your life. Neither you will, ruin yourself. This is just a conversation and I have to just sell myself through my communication, my body language and confidence. That's it, over. Who care? If interviewer asks me 10 questions, out of the 10, if I don't know the exact answer of the 9 question, even that person or the panel member will not bother you. He will not tell you that you don't have answer, I won't give you answer. I won't give you marks. The point is, UPSC holder 2016 6 topper guy, when he enter in the room and the panel member asked him to sit down, the first question was the chemistry. The XYZ terms of chemistry. And the guy also had the degree of chemistry. And he replied to the panel member that I don't know the answer. Then another panel member asked him a question with regard to the same question, chemistry. And he again replied, sir, I don't know the answer. And the same way, 6 questions were asked to him. And he replied in the same manner, sir, I don't know anything about it. And then panel member asked him, so what do you know about chemistry? He says, I know about the exotic things of the chemistry. And he got the decent score in the interview. The moral of the story is, if you don't know the answer, doesn't mean that you are getting less marks. But the way, the confidence, the process through you are telling that I don't know the answer, that also represent you are honest and second you are confident. Now take an example. You are asking me question of literature, okay, English literature, that XYZ thing. And if I say I don't know, instead I don't know telling I am just looking here and there, just collecting the data, that completely represent you are bluffing the people. If I don't know, why should I just roll my eyes? If I ask you, tell me the square of 2030, tell me the square of 2030. Now you're starting rolling your eyes, looking here and there. You are completely bluffing the people. This single body language represents whether you are honest or dishonest. If I ask you, tell me the 79, the square of 79, and he knows that he doesn't know the answer, and the panel members still know that he cannot answer the question because this is so rapid question and this is completely out of syllabus, out of logic. So you cannot answer in just 1 second. So the same person will answer. Instead answer, he will start thinking, looking at the faces of the panel member, looking the room, looking at himself as well, and they will tell you that I don't know the answer. So why did you waste the time? If you know the answer, at the same time, sorry sir, I don't know the answer. That represents 2 things, your honesty and second, your confidence. And third is how answerable you are. Now you tell me, if I ask you the president or the prime minister of XYZ country, if I ask a particular country like Nigeria, tell me the name of the Nigeria's capital. You don't know it, that still you know that. then why you are making such a body language so that the panel member will think you are bluffing us? So when somebody asks you a question, and if you are not aware it, at the very time, when the question ended, very time explain them with politely, having low body language, sorry sir, I don't know. That's it, fine, with a little smile. That's it. If you start looking here and there, that means you are actually making people fool. Very simple. Just take an example of salesman. Go to the Lakshmi street or any other street of the Pune and find it out. When you are not interested in particular product, like just take an example of cloth. Somebody show you some shirt or t-shirt, anything, and you feel like, no, I don't like the color of it. But the salesman tries to make you clear that this color is the best color in the world and that will suit you. That will suit you. He is actually bluffing you. And you know what? After the deal of that particular t-shirt, you also came to realize that he made you fool. We know it. We are human beings. We know we have some that EQ and IQ. That we have that emotional quotient and intelligent quotients. We understand it. Even the lecture is over, you will get to understand that how much the lecture was actually beneficial and how much it was out of the context. Even watch the movie. We watch the movie, we directly comment that songs were good, but the story was bad. If you judge the things in a very second, so why can't the panel members? I get my point. When I saw a movie of Alia Bhatt, then I say, yes, she has one quality, that she is the daughter of a director. But she has no quality of acting. How just in the 2 hours of movie I could judge her, even though she spent her 15 to 16 years learning acting skill? So she spent 16 years in acting skill and I judged her in just 2 hours movie. If I could judge her, why can't a panel member judge you in 20 minutes? So the judgmental that you are providing them through your communication and your body language and your confidence. That's it, over. Okay, let us take an example. A boy goes to see a girl for a marriage proposal. Then if their parents or their two families are progressive mindset, they will allow them to talk, right? Now a boy and a girl, they have a private space that been given by their families to talk, share your knowledge, share your ideas, share your experiences with the likes and dislikes, and then decide whether you would like to marry or not. Now you tell me, who's that boy will tell the girl that I like drinking, I like smoking? No. And who that girl will tell the boy that yes, I had already a boyfriend? No. So just think properly. A boy is a drunkard. He drinks, he smokes. And the girl who had a boyfriend in her past life, both had issues, weaknesses. Now when they're representing themselves in front of each other, they are representing in such a manner they are the best in the world. So you know what they are doing? They are indirectly selling each other. So the boy wants to sell the girl and the girl wants to sell the boy, and same wise they make agreement, and the agreement we called marriage. I get my point. But after the 1 year is over, the girl realized that he drinks and the boy came to know that she had a boyfriend. So the point is, the real character of the girl is real, that will remain, and the real character of the boy, the same boy, that will remain same. But the reality is that 20 minutes talk, that 20 minutes talk that made them come together for entire life. I get my point. The same way you should do with the panel member. Whatever weaknesses, whatever bad things you have, put it them aside. That I am the only to get this ACF post, AI post, forest post, DYSP post, whatever post you are. I get my point. But through what? Only two weapons. Again I am repeating, communication skill and your body language. If your communication skill is good and your body language comparatively is not transporting the idea, won't deliver it well. Same thing, your body language expressive and your communication is pause, having little some pauses and some sort of like this one, that will again interrupt to understand you well by the members. Get my point? Now go back to your 7th and 8th standard. There was a Jayanti, Bal Gangadhar Jayanti. Bal Gangadhar Tilak Jayanti, right? And we used to deliver a so-called bhashan. So the ideology was, we used to take that a sheet of paper and we used to stand like that and we used to deliver that speech. Same way, there was one of the talented guy who need not have that sheet. He directly came and used to deliver that speech. Now, but while delivering a speech, the motion, the position of that boy was like this. Get my point? There was no expression and there was no body language at all. So we could not judge him. But in the same way, if I deliver the same speech with using my body language, that will be expressive. And what that expression means, my audience will get catch in with me. Get my point? Now just look at yourself right now. It's now half an hour over and you are nowhere else, still you are sticking with my communication. Get my point? So what I am going to tell you in this process, in this whole session, is two things for communication, for interview, is communication and your body language. So come to the point, interview. Now I talk about interview. Now imagine your interview is in next month, March 2023, you are applying for interview, right? First. So what we do, we actually go to internet, we search the history of your district first, Bid Jilla, right? Second, who is the Chief Minister of Maharashtra? Who is the Governor of Maharashtra? This is the basic thing. Second, what we study the role and responsibility of the same job, same profile or same post. Third, we analyze some sort of current affairs, right? Related to the post or related to my job. Third. Fourth, then what we do? We do nothing. So in this process, what you did, you actually just gather the information. Okay, fine. Okay. You gather the information, then you apply for the interview, then you go to the interview on the same day. You say hi, hello, you sit on the chair, you deliver your everything what they ask and you come out of the hall. That's it, over. But now think about it. You have data, your information, you gather everything, right? But the real weapon is the delivery. That is what I'm trying to tell you. If I have the data, I have the information, and if I have simultaneously communication skill, so I will parallelly, and smoothly will deliver in such a way that the panel member will realize, yeah, this is the right guy, and we should give him some sort of 2 or 3 marks more so that he can be able to get this post. Same thing. Another way, if I don't gather the data, if I don't have information, if I don't know anything about the current affair, and if I sit in front of the panel and they ask me a question, I don't know the answer, but still I have the delivery skill. That's extremely sorry, I don't heard about it, I don't know about it. That's it, over. So still they can judge me while answering in a negative way. I don't know the answer. That's it, fine. But still I will get the more marks, the person who has data, information, current affair. So instead, starting collecting information, starting getting data, and starting getting current affairs, start with communication. And that communication should be stronger. Like, see, your communication will not be in English, in Marathi, fine. But the point is, if while delivering my speech or my answer in Marathi, if I use some sort of English word, that will not cut it down your marks. Getting my point? So while answering, when I answer my question, I'm answering my question with a confident manner and using very limited words. That will make more edge than expressing more and lengthiness and tedious manner. Clearing? Okay. Just take an example. Like if I'm sitting here, take my posture now. This is a seat and that is seat here. Okay. If I sit here like this, so this one, the gap between my two legs, this one. Okay. Again this one, like this one. Every posture of mine determining how am I. See this one. So now you are sitting in front of me, that I can easily tell you who is confident, who is anxious, and who is in a confusion. So how it can be? It can be modified. Now how? Take the example of English medium students. English medium students, they know everything about English and less about knowledge. Okay. But they have one thing that we don't have. They are confident. They confidently speak English. The same way, The same way, when somebody is around you talking with the higher volume of voice and fluently in Marathi, like Puneri people, we can directly attract it to them. We looked at them. We observe them. Why? Because of the flow of the speech he is delivering. Very simple, very simple. So the only attraction that the person get through his body language and communication. So same way, when you sit here, over here, your sitting movement tells your personality. Each and every. One thing I'm guiding you. Go to your Facebook profile. Go to your WhatsApp status. Or go to your whatever, Telegram, whatever the things. The thing that you present on the social media that indirectly tells about your personality. Indirectly. If you keep changing your, that DP and status every day, so you are more engaging in social media. And if you don't have that DP at all, that means you are just an observer. You like to watch more DPs and more photos rather than putting yourself there. That indirectly tells you are introvert and you have fear that somebody will use my photo. And second, who is putting every day engaging in the social media, that means he is very, very, very energetic. First, second, he doesn't bother about the society. Who cares? Who somebody use my photo? Somebody uses my photo or whatever, I don't know. But he is enjoying the life. But simultaneously, he is casual. He doesn't take the things seriously in his life. The same way, if I am sitting here, the very simple sitting posture and gesture will determine your identity. Now what? Now just take, if I sit like this one with the straight my neck and like this. So this is completely a puppet. A puppet of what? Like a made product. Good morning, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know, sir. That completely is like fabricated. Do you understand fabricated? Have you heard about plastic smile? Plastic smile is a smile that has no emotions. It is just a formality. Like if you just meet me across the street, so I give you plastic smile to my student. Good morning. Hello. I need to, because I need to earn money, right? The same way you are a device P, you are a deputy collector, you are IS or you are forest officer, ranger, whatever post you have. The same way there are so many colleagues around you and everybody every day will greet you. And every day you will feel like that is irritating. But you cannot say arrogantly to them that don't greet me. Instead, you reply in a plastic smile. And that the another person who greets you, he understands that you take him casually. How? Through your plastic smile. The same way, if I sit here, this is general normal body language. Sit here, a very completeness is like fabricated. This is fabricated. A very normal way, that means you are taking it casually. Okay? Same way, if I do this in between, not exactly like fabricated, not so much casually, if I put it like this, that is called natural. That is natural. If I sit like this naturally, ask me questions, sir. That is natural. So naturality, if comes through your communication, that will represent that your identity, you are not making it. Are you getting my point? And you are not again in anxiety like this. Yes, sir. I don't know, sir. See, now you started laughing just because of my some facial expression. I didn't say anything. Now, if I stand like this here, I'm fearing. I'm in a state of fear. If I like stand like this, I'm dominating. If I like stand this, I'm confident. See, I am uttering single words and you are judging me just with a single body language. Take an example of 1 year child who is sleeping. Just take an example. A child is sleeping and that baby is just woke up and you're looking at that baby. That baby will react to you. He doesn't understand the grammar of Marathi and either of English. He doesn't know verb and sentence structure. But he will understand you whether you're good or bad through your body language. That child will smile you only if you smile him. The child will cry if you show some sort of aggressive emotions like this. That will start crying. But that child doesn't understand any language, but he understands your body language. So, in language, if you learned one thing, for communication, your words comes later, your body language comes first. And if you are rude, if you are confused, if you are angry, that will be completely understood by your body language, not your words. not your words. If I want to neglect somebody, so that we do, like, आपण मराठी म्हणतो बघा, बघून न बघण्यासारखं. आपला जुना रूम पार्टनर आला की आपण काय करतो, बघून इकडे तिकडे बघतो. And that person, your old friend or either your room partner, he gets to understand that you are avoiding him. He understood it. And that completely by your body language, not your words. You have no single words with him or her. Clear? Now just another example I am giving you. In your library, when you sit together, there are around 150 people or 200 people. You don't know each and everybody's name. But you can easily guess who is actually belongs to my philosophy. Whether you don't know the name of the person. Like this. If I go to just fill up my water or bottle. Okay. There wasn't a guy who's standing or waiting behind me. Then I just smile him. Without knowing the name. Why did I smile? Because I generalize, I observe his body language that yes, he is sort of my type and he can be my friend. How it can be? I don't know his caste, his religion, his graduation, his the city he belongs, but still I smile him. I smile him. Why? Because the body language. Very simple. So, while in interview, what kind of body language we should have? So, I am not telling you that you should sit like this or this one or this one. You sit whatever posture you like, but that posture should be in two directions. Number one is that should be natural. And number two, it should be confident. Now, guess, when you attend the lecture, you are very smarter than teachers in Pune. You judge the teachers very easily. I have guessed it. I have experienced it. People ask me so many indirect questions that do you know that? Have you heard about it? So now, you judge the people very well. The same way now you judge me. After the lecture is over, whether this Patil sir has already read this in by one word or he is delivering the lecture on just occasionally and just occurrence. Getting my point? You will judge me directly. So while judging, so same way judge yourself. Now, when I sit in front of the panel member, I won't ask anybody to how should I sit like this or this one. I must judge myself that on what position I should sit. And that I generalize myself. So this is comfortable for me. And this is comfortable for me. Or this one comfortable for me. Get my point? So generally see, nobody is that much full that he will sit like this. Nobody. Nobody will sit. Everybody is that much mature that he will sit, okay, same way. But the way, the mannerism that we put while sitting, it should be like very confidently. Yes, sir. Same way. Now, while entering the hall, like what? If I enter the hall, now there are so many pictures and movies and YouTube that we knock the door, enter the hall. The same way doesn't happen in reality, right? The hall and the structure varies in every interview. If I open the door, if I ask for permission, that you no need to tell. If I ask the permission, sir, may I come in? And if there is no sir and there is madam, then what? So now generally, when there is a member of 3, member of 4 or member of 5, generally 3 or 2 or 4 or 5. So if I approach near them, if I go approach near them, so whom should I greet and when should I greet? While walking, Are namaskar kasa baras ka tu? This is wrong way. That means you are taking them casually. Okay. If I come like this, I enter the door, I approach to the panel and I greet them. But while greeting, whom should I look at first? The person who is right to me, the person who is left to me, or the person in front of me? So generally when there is a panel, the chairperson is always in the middle. And of course, we should go by horizon. Like what? The number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So basically, if there are 3 main members, I will come to them and then with this one. And this is not exactly the way that you should do like this. This one is also, but not this one. Nobody will do that. Okay. Or there is some sort of files in mind, but files we don't have actually. We directly go without anything in our hand. So when you go like this one, but instead standing this one, if you put 2 hands like this, so this shoulder, when I standing like this, the shoulders are looking down. So this completely show that I am nervous. But same way, if I put the hands together, you know what, the shoulder, that you do not have that look to the shoulder. And that represents Japanese mannerism. Japanese people, have you seen any Japanese movie? Okay, they greet. Why do they greet like this? Because they show respect. They show respect. And now, we Marathi people as well, some sort, we do like this. Why do this? Because I show respect to you, right? So same way, that doesn't mean you will directly go there and do this. Give me more marks, I'm doing this. So basically, if I approach the panel and if I stand there, good morning sir, good morning sir, good morning sir, 3 people of them. And if there is a woman, so yes, I should greet her separately. You cannot say sir to all members. If I approach to them and saying like this, sir, good morning ma'am, and then stand like this. So while doing, your hand posture, gesture, everything should be fixed at home. You should not experiment it at the time of the interview that I will do this, I will not do this, I must do this right now, make it clear. I should stand in front of the mirror and I realize whether it is good, bad, or some sort of, ridiculous. Get my point? So when I greet someone, good morning sir, that smile should be very natural. It should not be good morning sir, good morning. Good morning. It happens. So do this every day. I'm coming, good morning sir, good morning ma'am. That's it, over. If there are 3 members, so I cannot say 3 times good morning. So there is one thing that, now just take an example, these 3 people are my panel member. So I will come to here, good morning sir, good morning sir. Then these are 2 people I address, and that is again the 1 person I address. In these 2 good morning, I greeted to 3. Get my point? That's it, stand over here. And the very basic thing, they will allow you to sit, that is natural. Then while sitting, don't make it such a thing like your hands are shriveling, you are having some sort of fear, and you put it like this. So it happens. It's not like laugh. I gone through the more than 20 interviews in the international companies, and I went through this. One time happened one thing, I still remember. I should not say it to you, but it was my insult. When that HR girl was there in front of me, and she said, yes, you may sit. But while sitting, she was looking at me like this. She was observing me. So she was the HR of a multinational company. If she hire a wrong person, the company will fire her. Get my point? BCCI, that a cricket board, that takes more time to select the selectors rather than take less time to select the player. Take my things positively. Manager, the selection of the manager of the company is so lengthy than the selecting of the employee is very easy. If you go to any multinational company, the employee can get the job easily, but not the managerial post person. It takes a lot of time because they want there should be such a talented person that he will manage the company. Manager, CEO, board of director, that is not something happen in just one dinner night. It never. The same way, the way that HR was looking at me, meanwhile I was nervous and I just threw it away my chair. It happens. And she said, just calm down, sit well and have some sort of water. She offered me water as well. But it completely represents my negative ideology. I represented myself in a very negative manner. So make it at home. Take a seat, do it same way. Sir, good morning, ma'am. And then sit it. Thank you, sir. While sitting, whether you should say thank you first or later, so that is a mannerism number 2 is, you should sit first and then thank you, sir. Not first one, sir, thank you. Not that one. So it should be you first sit it well. As you sit down and then thank you, sir. That's it. Now comes the part next. Now I enter the hall, I sit on the chair. Now what should I do next? Then obviously you have nothing to just looking at the people. They will ask you question. Then they will just going through your papers like this one. They will check what kind of achievement of your curriculum activities they will go through, or they will already, they would have been already known it. Now, while sitting, there is another nervousness that initially I had. If there is a female member, so I had that some sort of shyness to look at her. And I was also thinking, if I look at the lady, that she might think about me that I'm looking at her, so she might give me less marks. I had that feeling. That feeling now should be cut it down here. It's not like that. When it comes to the professional level, nobody will think like you're looking at me. Nobody will think like that. This is the maturity level. If you are getting to be posted as an officer, you should not bother about anything regards to gender. So if my manager is a woman, so that doesn't mean I will look at the roof and will talk to her. Not like that. And she will not complain that he's looking at me. That look is just a source of communication. So while sitting, if I sit here, so I should look at the member in what manner? In a very respectful way. Like what? As you walk around the street in the Pune, when some class teacher just pass by you, so you show him respect. Yes, you show him respect, na? एक मिनट थांबा. तुला समजतं ना काय चालू आहे? ओके ना सगळं? ठीक आहे. थांबा. तुम्ही रस्त्यांच्या पुण्यामध्ये चहा पित राहतात, तर दिसला कोणी क्लासवाला, तर तुम्ही रिस्पेक्ट शो करतात ना. मी बघितलंय असं की कोणीतरी असं काहीतरी खातोय, आम्हाला बघितलं की खाणं हळू करून देतो. नमस्कार सर. असतं ना हे. That happens. So same way should be applied here. Same way. Now just take an example. If I'm having a TO here and my professor is just passing by me, so I cannot say like this, sir, namaskar gyacha. Not like this. I must show him respect. While showing respect, I give him some sort of body language, that a very narrow body language. Same way, when I sit on the chair, looking at the board member, that should be confident way first. Second, when somebody is asking me question, if this member is asking me question, I should look at him, not another member. Not like that. This is the childish way. If somebody asking me, my direction should be look at him. But while looking at him, you should not change the direction of your sitting position as well. Not like that. Your sitting position should be same. And when somebody is asking me question, so look at him very confidently, in eye contact. And when somebody asking you, nod him in a very polite manner. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That means you are actually getting his each and every point in a very way that he wants. Very simple. And if you just sit and looking at him, it represents whether you're confused or second, you're not getting the question. The second member and third member, that panel, will get to realize that he is confused. And that the panel look at each other and they get smiles. Why they get smiles? Because they make your puppet. Very simple. So that should not happen. If you don't know the answer, if you're asking a question like robotic science, I don't know about it, so still make it like this. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. The question is over, then, sorry, sir, I don't know about it. Very simple. So what it represents, that you listen it carefully, first. Second, whether you don't know the answer, you directly give him answer with a polite manner that I don't know the answer. But while he is asking me about robotic science, that I don't know anything about it, but then he asked the question, he stopped the question, then I'm thinking like this. आता बघा मी थुंका गिळलं. सॉरी सर. मग एवढं करायचं काय करत होती? मग एवढं करायचं काय करत होती म्हणजे काय? एवढ्यात आहे ना आपण काय करतो? What we do, we gather the knowledge. We are trying to figure it out. We just make our mind to work, whether it links to anything else. And then I realize that nothing else there is that I have in my back of mind. Then I say, I don't know. That you should reply it very, very soon when he ended his question. Point is clear? So next is when somebody asking, I should be very confident looking at him and noting myself. But note should not be that much. Very simple. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it. Same. एक गोष्ट अजून सांगू इच्छितो बघा. शाळेत जाऊ आपण. Go to the school. There was one competition like a very violent teacher, the one who likes to beat the people. Like he used to ask students to come over here and give answers. एका वाक्यात उत्तरे द्या. तुमच्याकडे नव्हतं तसं? होतं ना, आपल्याला पुढे बोलायचे प्रश्नांची उत्तर द्यायला लावायचे. तर आपल्याला असं उभं राहायचं आपण आणि आपल्याला विचारायचं सर. I mean the teacher used to ask us question and then we used to roll our eyes. आणि त्यात लगेच मागून एक लात बसायची. Point is, तेव्हा पण आपलं उत्तर माहिती नव्हतं. The thing is, we don't know the answer, but still we are just making the body language in such way that I know it, but right now I can't remember it. That's wrong. That is, you are actually making him fool, and that the panel member will get to understand that you are bluffing him, and that bluffness is dishonesty, and dishonesty does not apply to the government. It doesn't apply to the bureaucracy. So you should be honest. So second number. Now, he asked me a question. One panel member asked me a question and I want to answer him. But while answering, start with looking at him, and same way, the same direction, you should look at the other members. Like these are the other members. He asked me question is over, then I start answering. Yes, sir. The recent technology that Indian government has introduced, that is actually completely associated with the forestry, and that will definitely help us to conservation and for the protection of the species as well. So see, single member asked me question, while answering I, communicated with the others. That represent your team player, and that also represent you are respecting others. It doesn't like if he asks me question, so I should look at him. That is the wrong way. You should have some sort of lineness. That lineness means what? I am replying to all. A single member asking you question, that doesn't mean other will put their hands on their ear. That is not my question. Not like that. So single member asking, that means what? The other two are checking your answer. That is the duty. They will check your body language. They will check your eye contact. They will check your gesture, your confidence, and whether you are bluffing it or not. Clear my mind? So while answering, a single member ask you a question. They will not ask you in a very unite manner. They will not ask you three people one time. One person one time will ask you. As he asked you the question, while delivering, your eye contact should be with the others. That's it. Getting my point? Now come to here. When there is a second question, I just take a break. थांबू इथं. तो कडताना काय चालू आहे? You are with me, na? When there is a second question, the second question of the panel is actually depends on the first answer of yours. Where you stop, the question arises. Where you stop, the question arises. So they get the variety of dimensions through your answers. Take an example like this. Introduce yourself. This is the question. Right now, everybody asks you the very simple question. Introduce yourself. But right now, the tendency is right now the process is like this. Introduce yourself without telling your name. Why this is happening? Because I can judge you with the caste. नाही समजत तुम्हाला? हां, आता माझ्यासमोर कोणतं शैलेंद्र पाटील का आपला माणूस आहे. काय झालं कुठला आहे तू? बरं ठीक आहे, दोन मग जास्त येऊन टाकायला. It happens. Whether you are president, your Supreme Court judge, there isn't some biasness in Indian society. It happens. When there is a person or a student belongs to Khandesh, when he approaches me, I have some sort of emotional attachment with him. The only first question, now remember this, very, very clear here. Only first question that you know is introduce yourself. But nobody knows second question. Nobody knows third question. Nobody knows the entire interview. So now make it clear, make it your first question, design it in such a way so that the panel member will only ask the question the area that you are familiar with. Now, just take an example. Introduce yourself. Then I would say, I am Mahesh Subhash Patil. I did this, I did that, my family member. And sir, my hobbies are watching cricket and watching movies. When I say movies, I emphasize on the words. I do not run away. My hobbies are watching cricket matches and watching movies, sir. Then I say movies. The first question will be, now tell me what is censor board. Okay, tell me how that movie is certificated. How the movie process, whatever. Tell me the first movie that got Oscar award. Tell me the first Indian movie that went to the Grammy award, whatever. So your area should be designed in such a way so that he will ask the question, the area you are confident of. Getting my point? But the third question and fourth question that we cannot imagine which will be, but yes, there will be 50% chances that your graduation based question will be asked. Chemistry, physics, polity, history, whatever. Like I am a BA in English literature. So there is a 50% chances that they will ask me question with regards to literature. Then some sort of work, then award, this and that. So I have only two areas that I should know is one, introduce yourself. And second is my graduation. Current affair, I don't know. I will go through the current affairs, but I don't know what kind of current affair he will ask. Clear my mind? Okay. So when I end it, the answer, the next question should be that. So I will do one dummy interview. What I will do, I will some sort of dummy interview, will ask question to myself, will write it down. And also think about the one point, when I am ending the one question, what kind of information I am providing them. And that information through, I should create more questions. I myself should create more question. Are you getting my point? I should be the panel and I should be again the person who interviews. That means I will ask question to myself, I will write down the answer. And then I will think about the answer and will more get the things like through this answer, what kind of question will be framed again. Then another answer. Then what kind of question will be framed again. Then another answer. What kind of question will be framed again. In this process that will make you more matured. More mature, and that is answerable. Hazar Jawabi. Answerable means what? As I answered, he asked me question. As I answered, he asked me question. As he asked me question, answered. That means this is a parallel way, and they will realize that he is answerable, he is confident, and he is quick, and that you get more age. And if you get some sort of pause, like thinking, and start thinking and giving some sort of body language, so that they are also murmuring, okay, let him go. Ha, theek hai, thank you. Why do they say thank you? Because they don't get much interest in you. Very simple. Very simple. If they find some sort of interest, they will go more, go more, go more, and they will come to realize what kind of personality you are. And if you feel like you some delivering answer like, then another panel member skip the question and ask another. Then the same way, sir, theek hai. Then another panel member will ask another question. Then again this one, and they will look at each other and they will say, chalo jane de usko. Theek hai, thank you, all the best. How it happened? Just because of your poorness of understanding, your poorness of understanding the designing of the question. So questions are not framed on their table, they are framed through your answering. Getting my point? So if they ask you question, introduce yourself without your name, don't tell your name. If they ask you introduce yourself, put your name in a full manner. Full manner. If you put the name of your mother, that will be actually catchy. And that is actually should be there. Because right now the government documents is printed with mother's name. So that is not key, they will have some issue. No issue at all. Clear? Now, we'll talk about communication. First, verbal and non-verbal. I think you have that sheet I provided you. Have a look on it. Before interview and after interview, that is the two things that I have just typed myself. See, there is a very first, that first hand priority. मिळालं का? पहिल्याच ती चौथी पेज वरतीच आहे. तुम्हाला समजतं ना खरं? Okay. First hand priority. Okay, let's start from today. Your interview is designed in March, and we'll start thinking from today. What should we do? Now the first thinking is pop up in your mind is internet. We'll go to the internet. Think. First, what kind of role or post that I'm applying? The number one, a very basic thing. Sandeep, that the student of mine who is right now Naib Tahsildar, the panel member asked him that DYSP is your dream post, so write it down the DYSP. How do we write it? So he was given a pen and he was asked to write a DYSP. In that DYSP, there is a D is in capital and Y small, and there is a full stop, DY, and then S and P. Get my point? So he made it wrong. He made it D small, Y, then full stop. The panel member laughed at him. That doesn't mean they gave him a less marks, but that proves how serious, how your approach towards your dream post. Get my point? So basically, what post I'm applying first, I need to know the post details. What kind of post it is? It is DYSP, DC, whether it clerk, STI, whether it forest range officer, or whether it is ACF. Whatever post we are, we should know it. Second thing, second member Yogesh was asked full form of SP. Now you tell me SP, full form of SP? Superintendent of Police. Now go home and write the spelling of superintendent, and then show it to me. Now you might say these are the silly question that the panel member won't ask. Whether they ask or not, that is not the question, but the question is how the gravity and the seriousness I have about my post, I should little know about it. Getting my point? If I watch cricket, I should know the rules and regulation of cricket matches. That's why I can enjoy it. The same way, if I'm applying for range officer, I don't know the meaning of range, then the panel member will realize that you are coincidentally passed this examination. That's it. That we say that accidental Prime Minister, Sanjay Baru's book. So accidental Prime Minister, same way accidental range officer. That he had no job anywhere, he passed accidentally. So there is no option other than the giving him marks. So first priority is to take it, your post it down, read it thoroughly, understand the each and every word of the post. Second, the role of the post. Now, everybody wants to be the IS. Even I wanted that. I couldn't get it. That is another point. IS post. Everybody loves IS, but nobody understands the roles and responsibilities of the IS. Everybody likes that Lal Divaji Gadi. But what does he work? What kind of role, responsibility, accountability, what kind of files he sign? And why should he sign? Who gave him authority? What department he belongs to? Which department comes under IS? And how many departments that he holds? How much power he has? Does he have power to arrest somebody? Why doesn't he have that power? Why that power to the police department? And why police department comes under state list? Why not in the central list? Are you getting my point? Everything should be thoroughly studied. Now you might ask me a question that the last year one of my friend applied for the interview and he wasn't asked this question. Whether this question was asked or not, but I should know the post I'm applying for. Whether I'm not selected, but I will get to know exactly about the post throughout my life. Are you getting my point? If whether I don't know, I'm not passed, I'm just a merchant, I'm selling my tea. I don't care about it, but I know about what is agriculture officer is, what does he do, what kind of responsibility he has, the full form of this post, this one, and these are the 4 posts that comes under agriculture officer. And this agriculture post is also in center, also in state. In state, it comes under this ministry. The salary of the post is XYZ, and also he is get promotion after the 6 years, and after the promotion is over, he is selected to the XYZ post. The retirement age is 58. After the 58, what he can do? He can go to the research, also can help to the same department. That is what? That gives you more age ki he is well studied, well mannered, and he knows everything about the post. Again, if you answer about the post, that again will give you more marks. Not like that. That seriousness is checked. If that seriousness somewhere is found is less, then absolutely that will affect your marks. Clear? Now, the post is over. Second. Now, understand yourself. Like study myself. I will study myself. There was one friend of mine in my MBA class, and his behavior was very childish. He was just a laughing stock. Everybody used to laugh at him. And he was some sort of like, immature. And he used to behave like he is not an MBA student. I met him. I told him that why do you behave like that? He said, since my birth, my parents just told me that I am behaving my child manner in a childish way. How can you say that? He shouted at me. Then I realized one thing. His parents cannot say him in a very negative way. The person we love, we cannot find the weaknesses of the same person. So I learned from him one thing. When people are analyzing my personality, if they are criticizing me, that means they are external people. They are looking me externally. Same thing what we should do, we should also look ourselves externally. We looked in the mirror, right? We look ourselves in the mirror, that how we look, how we design, how we dress. The same way, leave it dressing style, leave it our external appearance. Now go out of your body and look at yourself, that how you behave, how your body language, how your walking style, how your looking style, how you insult people, and then make it in a proper way. Get my point? So same thing, while in your room, you should walk yourself and talk to yourself that whether it is a right way or wrong way. Make it sitting arrangement and make yourself, look at yourself that whether this is sitting arrangement that I am positioning myself, whether it is good or wrong, or whether it is childish. Clear? Third point. Now, you understood job profile, your post. Now second, you realize yourself. Third, SWOT analysis. Now the full form of SWOT, I am asking you full form of SWOT. You know it, right? You know it. Full form of SWOT. Your strength, weakness, threat, opportunity. Now, but if I ask you what is strength and what is weakness, nobody answer. So your SWOT analysis means what? If I ask you, tell me about one thing that you deserve for this post. आम्ही तुम्हाला का सिलेक्ट करावं, तुम्हाला ही पोस्ट का हवी आहे, तुम्हाला तुमच्या क्षेत्रामध्ये का करिअर नको आहे, तुम्हाला इकडेच का यायचं आहे, हेच का क्षेत्र निवडलं. These are nothing but the questions of your strengths. Why this? Why not that one? Why this na? Because I have this one and this one is required for this post. So that is why the attraction is here. Get my point? So strength, if I ask you right now the strength of yours, you still start thinking what my strengths are. Let me think. You are thinking, that means you are not analyze yourselves. Buddha says that look within yourself. Look within yourself means what? Realize that what my mistakes are. Realize what my strengths are. Realize what things that I should need to cover. I need to change. So he says look inside na. So look inside and see my strength. My strength is I am a good communicator. I am a go-getter. I am a confident. I am a honest. I am an integrity person. I am a team player. These are my qualities. These are my strengths. My weakness? Yes, my number one weakness is I am procrastinator. Whether it is negative, yes, I procrastinate the things. I push in future. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it next day. Second number is I am overthinking. I do overthinking. Whether this will be in my favor, whether will I be passed. Third is some sort of fear of this cutthroat competition. These are my weaknesses. The SWOT W, that is weaknesses. T for threat. My threat is my age. If I turn 30, my father will say come home and do work in agriculture. This is my threat. My threat is economical condition. If my parents stop sending me 10,000 rupees a month, I will stop my education. This is my threat. My opportunity number one, I will change my all weaknesses into strength. I will change my personality. I will be a good communicator. I will not be biased. I will be a balanced thinking person. These are my opportunities. I will join the government job. I will make sure that the country prosper well. I will make sure that if I get a post, I will make the peace and prosperity in the right manner in my area. These are my opportunities. Get my point? So make a SWOT analysis of yourselves. So biggest businessman says, now remember the quotes of businessman that you might be going through that reels. Businessman says, these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses. So my goal is, my opportunity is, all these weaknesses next year will be my strengths. Get my point? Now, number one weakness of mine is I don't change myself. I am the same person who was before 10 years. Same thinking, same ideology, same poorness. But I will change it next year. So all my weakness will be my strength next year. So same thing. If that interview panel asks you, तुम्हाला का निवडावे? तुम्ही या क्षेत्र काय जॉइन करायचं आहे? तुम्हाला हेच का हवं आहे? So the answer of the same question will be your strengths. Will be your strengths. तू BSc केलं बाबा, तिथं काही केलं असं सायन्समध्ये, तुझं कम्प्युटर इंजिनिअरिंग आहे, तू तर इंजिनियर आहे, तू तर भरपूर जगाला बदलू शकतो, का इकडे यायचं आहे? मग सर त्याचं कारण असं आहे की काय मग स्ट्रेंथ्स, तिथून उत्तर माझं स्ट्रेंथ्स असलं पाहिजे. आयडिया येते? नेक्स्ट आता कम्युनिकेशनबद्दल बोलूया. व्हर्बल अँड नॉन व्हर्बल. व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशन अँड नॉन व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. तुम्हाला हे माहिती आहे रिझनिंग, व्हर्बल अँड नॉन व्हर्बल? व्हेरी सिम्पल. व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशन और व्हर्बल रिझनिंग इज, व्हर्बल मीन्स वर्ड्स, शब्द म्हणजे भाषा म्हणजे व्हर्बल, अँड नॉन व्हर्बल म्हणजे शब्द नाही. बघा नॉन व्हर्बल आपली रिझनिंग कुठली असते ते बघा, शब्द त्या संख्या असते 2, 12, 18 पुढे काय, ते शब्द नसतात, ते संख्या आहे. मग जिथं शब्द नाही ते असतं नॉन व्हर्बल आणि जिथं शब्द ते असतं व्हर्बल. मग आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये ओरल व्हायची, ओरल टेस्ट, वायवा. मग तो कुठला होता, व्हर्बल की नॉन व्हर्बल? व्हर्बल होता. अँड सेकंड इज नॉन व्हर्बल. नॉन व्हर्बल मीन्स व्हॉट? इट कंटेन्स नो वर्ड्स, इट कंटेन्स नो लँग्वेज. मग आता हे दोन्ही व्हर्बल आणि नॉन व्हर्बल दोन्ही घेऊन चालायचं आपल्याला. So verbal that you speak, non-verbal that you speak through your body language. If both the thing parallelly come together, you have a good communication skill. Now, emotional quotient and intellectual quotient. You might have heard about this. Emotional. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे का? एक आपण एक्सपिरियन्स घेऊया. तुमच्या लाईफमध्ये एक एक्सपिरियन्स आला असेल. You might have gone through the one experience. A doctor. I was preparing for UPSC and I was fell ill. I was going through the dengue illness. I went to a doctor, then doctor just checked me and he asked me about the blood reports. I took the blood reports. Next day I went to him and showed it to him. Then he looked at it and he said, your platelet counts are very low. You are going through this dengue process. We need to do this and that. He sent me to another doctor and then I gone through it and then I recovered and then I become fine. But the point is, when I approached the first doctor, he first gave me a chair. He stand near me. He said, beta, your platelets counts are very low. You may die. He was, but don't worry, I'm here. I will send to the right direct doctor and he will guide you. He will treat you well. So don't go anywhere. Don't waste your time. I replied to him, yes, sir. I will do whatever you said. But now, in this process, I realized one thing, that doctor's emotionally attachment with the patient was closer. Then I started treating him very respected. Now, I made him my family doctor. So this is the thing, that when you're officer, you should be emotional and sensitive. When you're emotional and sensitive, people will approach to you with respect and your name and fame will be around. Get my point? The same way, your emotional quotient should be very sensitive. Like if the interview panel asks you a question on a very sensitive matter, like this, a rape case, what do you think what government should do? Then your reply should not be like this, illegal. We should kill them. Not like this. Your emotional quotient, I can understand. A rapist should be hanged. That is emotional decision. But the intellectual decision says, no, we are in democracy and the democracy has due process of law. It is not in your hand. So when you are supposed to be the officer, when you are replying your answer to this question, your intellectual and your emotional, both the questions should be mixed it up. Are you getting my point? So when you are replying to this sensitive question, your answers should be democratic. It should not be too sentimental. It should not be too intellectual. It should be both. Get my point? Next, verbal communication, it should be checked by other. But non-verbal communication, it should be checked by yourselves. Like what? What kind of jargons I'm using? Sangto. Now, since 11 o'clock, I'm using my body language. But do you think that this is the only one place or this is my first lecture that I'm using it? No, I have already done it prior. So what kind of body language, gesture, posture I'm using, I have already practiced it. I have already studied it. I have already thought about it. It is not like just Yura sir told me that tomorrow is a lecture and I will come and deliver a lecture. No, I already thought about it. What kind of gesture, my hand gesture, my facial expression, how it should be. I analyzed it first and then I'm representing you. Get my point? So same way you should sit in the class or in library, either in your room, and you should talk to yourself and manipulate that body language. This is the manipulation. In verbal communication, there are some sort that we do mistakes. बोलताना आपण काय चूक करतो? पहिली चूक, श्वास घेणे. श्वास घेणे म्हणजे समोरच्याला मूर्ख बनवणे. सर ॲक्च्युली मी काय करतो माहिती आहे, मी ॲक्च्युली ब्लफ करतोय, मी आयडिया गॅदर करतोय. हे जे एक्सप्रेशन आहे ना, हे जे ब्रेकिंग एक्सप्रेशन, हे समोरच्या लगेच कळून जातं की आता हा काहीतरी सांगणार आहे बघ. एखादं लहान बाळ असतं, लिटल गाय, आपण त्याला म्हणतो सांग बरं काल कोण करा तुझ्या घरी पाहुणे, माझ्या घरी मामा आले होते. मग दॅट चाइल्ड इज रिकलेक्टिंग द थिंग्स. यू शुड नॉट डू दॅट. म्हणजे मी बोलताना वेन आय रिप्रेझेंट, वेन आय आन्सर, मी तो पॉज नको दिला पाहिजे. असं थुंकं गिणणं, ॲक्च्युली हे शब्द नको आहे. हे काय करतात, हे सांगतात त्याला समोरच्याला की आता हा काहीतरी ब्लफ मारेल बघा, आणि ते पॅनल मेंबर एकमेकांकडे बघून असतं बघा आता, अरे वा काय आणतो खरं का, म्हणजे आपल्याला ते मूर्ख बनवतात. आणि त्या जाड्यात आपल्याला फसायचं नाही आहे. इफ युअर आन्सर इज रेडी इन युअर माइंड, डिलिव्हर इट क्विक. If not, deliver it quick. That sorry sir, I don't know it. That reflect it. That means he is so matured. Very simple. तर ही गोष्ट तुम्ही टाळायची. उ आ. सेकंड थिंग, बोलताना हे जे शब्द असतात आपले बोली भाषेतले शब्द टाळायचे. ॲक्च्युली सर कसं आहे, म्हणजे तसं म्हटलं ना तर आपले नगरचे कसं आहे सांगतो तुम्हाला आता, हे कसं आहे असं आहे. खरं तर सांगायचं म्हटलं तर मला असं वाटतं बरं हे बरं बिरं नाही झालं तिथं, अजिबात नाही. दॅट इज नॉट अ कॅज्युअल टॉक, इट इज अ प्रोफेशनल टॉक. व्हेन यू आन्सर लाईक दिस, सर मला असं वाटतं की ह्या विषयाशी जर आपण बोलायचं म्हटलं तर भारतीय संविधानानुसार मला असं आय डायरेक्टली गो विथ प्रोफेशनल वे. म्हणजे तुम्ही तुमचे ते जे जार्गन आहेत, जे बोली भाषेतले ते नाही चालणार. खरं तर कसं आहे सर बघा, आता तुम्ही तर तुम्हाला तर माहितीच आहे काय सिच्युएशन भारताची. आता काय सांगू पण सांगावं लागतंय. डोंट गो विथ फ्रेंडली वे. ही इज नॉट युअर फ्रेंड, ही इज युअर सुपेरियर. त्यांनी चांगलं पावसाळे जास्त बघितलं आपल्यापेक्षा. ही हॅज गॉन थ्रू दिस प्रोसेस. सो बी मॅच्युअर्ड अँड बी प्रोफेशनल देअर. नेक्स्ट कुठली चूक होते अजून आपली. सपोज बऱ्याच वेळा असं होतं की पॅनल मेंबर ट्रायज टू मिसगाईड यू अँड यू फॉलो द सेम पाथ. लाईक तुला काय वाटतं आपली भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था आता खूप डगमगायची आहे, त्यात काही कुठल्याही प्रकारचं तथ्य राहिलं नाही आहे, बेरोजगारी वाढते. तुझं काय मत आहे? हो सर बरोबर तुमचं म्हणणं, 100% बरोबर, काहीच नाही तर. सो इफ ही से रॉंग मेक इट राईट, बट वाईल मेकिंग इट डोंट यूज द वर्ड नो. नाही, नाही शब्दाला घरी ठेवून जायचं. आता मी तुम्हाला म्हटलं की तुम्हाला प्रश्न आहे डायरेक्टली माझा की स्पर्धा परीक्षेमध्ये मुलींपेक्षा मुलंच पास जास्त होतात, तुमचं काय मत आहे? तुम्ही हो सर बरोबर आहे, कारण मुलांची संख्या जास्त आहे भारतामध्ये. म्हणजे तुम्ही माझ्या डिरेक्शनला येत आहे. मग आता दुसरं, मुलीला हे गोष्ट टच होईल नाही सर, असं कसं का? असं नाही आहे सर, मुलगी UPSCत पहिली येते, राज्यसभेत पहिली येते, पण तुम्ही सुरुवात करताना नाही म्हटलात ना. दॅट्स कम्प्लिटली इन्सल्ट द समवन हू इज आस्किंग यू क्वेश्चन. सर यू आर राईट, बट इन माय बिलीफ, इन माय ओपिनियन, आय थिंक दॅट, आय फील दॅट, इन माय व्ह्यूज. म्हणजेच सर तुमचं बरोबर आहे, पण मला असं वाटतं, माझं असं वैयक्तिक मत आहे, माझ्या मतानुसार, माझ्या ज्ञानानुसार. म्हणजे त्या व्यक्तीची आयडिया आहे तिथेच राहतं, आपण त्यांना आदर करतो आणि हे योग्य आहे. जसं तुला कळतं हा पठाण पिक्चर आहे, याच्यावरती बायकॉटचं जे सुरू आहे, तर ते बायकॉट झालेच पाहिजे कारण त्या पिक्चरमध्ये हिंदू धर्माचा अपमान केलेला आहे. तर हो सर बरोबर आहे तुमचं म्हणणं, हे अजिबात नको पाहिजे, बायकॉटच केलं पाहिजे. म्हणजे तुम्हाला आयडिओलॉजी नाही आहे, तुम्ही पोपट आहात. मी जर सांगेल तसं तुम्ही हो म्हणणार, पण त्यांना नाही म्हणण्यासाठी इफ आय आन्सर हिम नो, इट शुड बी लाईक नो सर. मग सर तुमचं म्हणणं अगदी बरोबर आहे, पण मला असं वाटतं सर बॉयकॉट करणं हा प्रत्येकाचा वैयक्तिक पॉईंट आहे. त्याचा आर्टिकल अंडर 19 त्याला एक्सप्रेशनचा आपल्याला अधिकार दिलेला आहे. पण माझं असं व्यक्तिगत मत आहे, कुठला धर्म, कुठली जात, कुठल्याही पंथाला असा कुठला रंग नेमलेला नाही आहे कायदेशीरदृष्ट्या की हा रंग माझा आहे. त्यामुळे त्या रंगावरनं आपण मतभेद करू शकत नाही. त्यामुळे एखाद्या चित्रपटावरती आपण बंदी आणण्यापेक्षा आपण विचारांवरती बंदी आणलेली बरी. माय आन्सर इज लीगल वे. करताय तुम्हाला जर एखादी गोष्ट नाही पटत त्यांची पॅनलची, यू शुड नॉट से नाही नाही, तसं नसतं ते, नाही नाही. आणि आपल्याला नाही म्हणायचे काय सांग माहिती का, आपण नाही एकदा नाही म्हणत, 3-4 वेळा नाही म्हटल्यानंतर आपलं पोट भरतं. नाही 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 असं पोट भरता बरं. नाही एकदा आपण म्हणतच नाही मराठी लोक. तर तो नो शब्द घरी टाकायचा. हां, इन टर्म्स ऑफ डू यू बिलीव्ह, म्हणजे तुला असं वाटतं की खरंच भारत हा लोकशाही नाही आहे? सर लोकशाही नाही आहे असं आपण कसं म्हणू शकतो? ही लोकशाही आहे म्हणून तर आज मी तुमच्यासमोर बसलो आहे. हा लोकशाहीचाच एक भाग आहे, सौम्य, सुंदर आणि लॉ डोक्यात ठेवून. मी कुठलाही बायस होत नाही आहे. तर एकदम एक्स्ट्रीम कसं होतं बघा, नाव वेन द लेक्चर इज ओव्हर, यू गो टू युअर रूम पार्टनर, युअर फ्रेंड विल हॅव कन्व्हर्सेशन. लगेच रिॲक्ट करतो, हे तसं नाही आहे ते, हड काय पण सांगतो तू, नाही रे असं नसतं. आपली बॉडी बघा, हे अरे बघा इंग्लिशचे नोट्स पाडलं, हे पाडीचं काय असतं तू याची वास, हे बघा हे जे ना ही झाली घृणा. आणि ही तिथं म्हणजे सपोज असं की हा चायनाने कोरोना आणला, ह्या चायनावरती काहीतरी युनायटेड नेशनला तुला काय वाटतं बंदी घातली पाहिजे? बरोबर आहे सर, बंदी घाला त्यांना, बॉम्ब टाकून दे 2-3. याने काय रिप्रेझेंट होतं? द चाइल्डिश आयडियोलॉजी. यू डोंट बिलॉंग टू द डेमोक्रेसी अँड यू आर नॉट द मॅच्युअर्ड ऑफिसर. सर पहिली गोष्ट हा आजार आहे. सर माझं असं मत आहे की हा आजार आहे, हा आजार कुठला देश बनवत नसतो. हा आजार जो आलेला आहे हा वातावरणातून पसरलेला आहे. पसरलेला जो रोग असतो तो कोणीही त्याला पसरत नाही, तो पसरतो हा त्याच्या वैज्ञानिक गोष्टींनी. तर मला असं वाटतं एखाद्या देशाला दोष देण्यापेक्षा आपण त्याच्यातील सोल्युशनवरती जास्त वर्क केलं पाहिजे. युनायटेड नेशनने देशांची एक संघटना करून कुठला देशाला जबाबदार आहे याच्यावरती विचार करण्यापेक्षा कुठल्या देशाने, कोणकोणत्या देशाने पटकन व्हॅक्सिन आणून अशा प्रकारचे आजार होऊ नये आणि आपली मानव सो ऑन, म्हणजे समजलं तुम्हाला? क्लिअर? सो नो, यस अजिबात नाही. तुम्हाला जर वाटलं की यस जरी असेल, सपोज जर तुम्हाला वाटलं की वुमन प्रोटेक्शन, वुमन सेक्शुअल प्रोटेक्शन असेल, वर्क प्रोटेक्शन ॲट वर्क प्लेस असेल, तर त्यांनी एक सुंदर तुम्हाला आयडिया दिली की आता जे आपलं वुमनचे जे लॉ आहेत ते भारतामध्ये आहेत प्रोटेक्शन, तुला वाटतं की ते योग्य आहेत? तर त्यांना कधी अयोग्य म्हणू नका. योग्यता आहे सर, पण अजून 2-4 लॉ पास केलं तर बरं होईल. अजिबात नाही सर, लॉ तर आपल्याकडे आहे, इम्प्लिमेंटेशनवरती आपलं काम केलं पाहिजे. हा जो मिडल चॅनल आहे, जो ब्युरोक्रॅटी आहे, त्यांना ट्रेनिंग देणं, त्यांना अवेअर करणं, त्यांना परफेक्ट बनवणं गरजेचं आहे. हा मिडल मॅनच सर फायनल जो व्यक्ती आहे त्याच्यापर्यंत ते पोहोचू शकतोय. सो माय आन्सर शुड बी लिगल. नेक्स्ट, गव्हर्नमेंटवरती टीका टाळायची आहे, स्कीमवरती टीका टाळायची आहे. गव्हर्नमेंटचं कुठल्यावर जर फेल्युअर असलं त्याला तुम्ही फेल्युअर तेव्हाच म्हणणार जर ते सुप्रीम कोर्टाने अप्रूव्ह केलं आहे. जस्ट अन एक्झाम्पल, श्रद्धा मर्डर केस इन दिल्ली. आय आज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ वुमन प्रोटेक्शन इज द वुमन सेफ्टी. हा मी निबंध विचारला राज्यसेवा मेनचे आता रायटिंग टेस्ट पेपरला. तर सगळ्यांनी श्रद्धा मर्डर, श्रद्धा मर्डर, श्रद्धा मर्डर. नाव यू टेल मी, डिड सुप्रीम कोर्ट से दॅट इट वॉज ॲक्च्युअली श्रद्धा अँड श्रद्धा वॉज मर्डर बाय दॅट बॉय? इट इज नॉट ट्रायल इट. So if it is not trial in the Supreme Court, who are you to judge it? आपण कुठल्याही एखाद्या आरोपीचं तोंड बांधून देतो ना, कारण तो अजून प्रूव्ह नाही गिल्टी. तर तुम्ही अशा प्रकारचे प्रश्न इंटरव्ह्यूमध्ये सांगताना अजिबात असे रेफरन्स देऊ नका. जर त्याने म्हटलं की श्रद्धा मर्डर केस झाली बघा दिल्लीमध्ये वुमन सेफ्टीबद्दल काय वाटतं? सर, श्रद्धा मर्डर केस झालेली आहे, पण अजून ती सुप्रीम कोर्टाने त्यावरती कुठला निवाडा दिलेला नाही आहे. त्यामुळे मी याच्यावरती बोलणं टाळेल, कारण जोपर्यंत सुप्रीम कोर्ट किंवा पूर्ण लिगल प्रोसेस होत नाही तोपर्यंत ते कळणार नाही सर की खरं ती श्रद्धा होती, ते मर्डर होतं का ती आत्महत्या होती. मग त्यात लगेच करता त्याला की अरे हा तर शहाणा आहे, याचे विचार चांगले प्रगल्भ आहेत. मग यात ही झाली ही वे ऑफ रिप्रेझेंटिंग युअर सेल्फ. क्लिअर? नेक्स्ट, नॉन व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. आता व्हर्बल कम्युनिकेशनमध्ये तुम्हाला काय करायचं आहे? शब्दांची जुळवाजुळव करायची आहे. कुठले शब्द टाळायचे ते बघा आणि कुठले शब्द ॲड करायचे. तर शब्द ॲड करताना ना, शब्द हे वैचारिक आणि दुसरं लिगल असले पाहिजे. वैचारिक म्हणजे कसे बोलताना, सर माझा असा समज आहे की या केसमध्ये आपण बघताना माझा असा समज आहे, मला असं वाटतं हे जरा पुअर झालं. माझा समज सर, माझ्या ज्ञानानुसार मी असं सांगू शकेल की आपण वेस्टर्न घाटबद्दल बोलतो, आपण गाडगीळ कमिटीबद्दल बोलतो, पण सर कमिटीचे जेवढे रिकमेंडेशन आपल्याला गव्हर्नमेंटने दिलेले आहेत त्या गव्हर्नमेंटने किती वर्क केलेले आहेत आणि वर्क करून त्याच्यावरती काय सोल्युशन काढलेलं आहे. हे बघा, माझा जो वे आहे आता टॉक हा जरा एक मॅच्युअर्ड आहे. सिलेक्शन ऑफ वर्ड्स म्हणजे कुठे करायचे? इंटरव्ह्यूमध्ये नाही, घरीच. मी घरीच करेल. मग ही पोस्ट आहे, हे एक्सपेक्टेड क्वेश्चन आहे, त्याचे आन्सर मी घरी करेल आणि ते मॉडिफाय करेल. मी बोलेल ते पाठ नाही करणार, ते फक्त मॉडिफाय करेल. क्लिअर का? आता नॉन व्हर्बलला आहे. नॉन व्हर्बलला काय? तर बॉडी लँग्वेज. यस, तर मी काय करतो, माझ्या रूम पार्टनर सांगतो की बाबा मी तर बसतो आहे आणि प्रश्न आहे हे मी लिहिले आहेत, तू विचार, आणि मी बोलतो फक्त. तर तुम्ही ना दररोज एक हप्त्यातनं एक किंवा हप्त्यातनं 2दा-3दा जर तुम्ही ही प्रॅक्टिस केली, माझी बॉडी लँग्वेज प्रत्येक गोष्ट बदलून उभं राहून बोलून, ठीक आहे, आवाज मोठा करून, आवाज स्लो करून, आवाज हळू करून, तर तुम्हाला एक गोष्ट कळेल की त्यामध्ये इम्प्रूव्हमेंट होते. याला म्हणतात पर्सनॅलिटी डेव्हलपमेंट. त्याशी एकदा नाही होणार. दुसरं अजून, आता माझं बघा फ्लो ऑफ स्पीच, तुमचा फ्लो ऑफ स्पीच वेगळा असेल, माझी टोनिंग बघा वेगळी, मराठीची, इंग्लिशची वेगळी, तुमची असेल. सो सेम वे व्हाईल डिलिव्हरिंग ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड वेदर आय एम गिविंग पॉज ऑर एम्फसाइज ऑन द वर्ड्स. बघा तुम्ही बोलताना करतोय, बघा आता मी काय तर सांगतो, ऐका. एक गोष्ट लक्षात घ्या, कॉन्फिडन्स इज मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट. मी काय केलं माहिती आहे का? एक गोष्ट लक्षात घ्या, पटकन बोललो आणि कॉन्फिडन्स शब्दाला थांबलो मी. म्हणजे मला माहिती की ह्या शब्दावरती भर द्यायचा, कारण या शब्दाविषयी मला बोलायचं आहे. मग तुम्ही ना हे शिका की मी जर उत्तर देतो आहे की आता मला उत्तर द्यायचं आहे की मला एक प्रश्न आला, कुठला प्रश्न आला की करंट अफेअरचा प्रश्न आला, इलेक्शनवरती प्रश्न आला, तर मग आता मला सांगायचं तुला काय वाटतं आजचे इलेक्शन खरंच ट्रान्सपरंट आहेत का? कुठली पॉलिटिकल पार्टी हरली तर ते असं म्हणते की इथं घोड झाला. मग आता मी उत्तर देतो आहे. मग उत्तर देताना मी सर आपली भारतीय इलेक्शन प्रोसेस ही घटनात्मक आहे आणि ती घटनेनुसार चालते आणि या घटनेला कोणी विरोध करू शकत नाही. बघा मी 2 शब्दांवर भर दिला, घटनात्मक आहे, घटनेशी नुसार चालते. म्हणजे मला कुठं थांबायचं आहे, वेअर शुड आय गेट अ टॉप, आणि मी कुठं पळायचं आहे, ह्या गोष्टी तुम्ही शिका. म्हणून शब्दांवरती पॉज देणं महत्त्वाचं आहे. तुम्ही जगातले मोठे वक्ते बघा, कुठले बघा तुम्ही, UPSC लेक्चर बघा जगातले मोठे, तर ते काय करतात, ते जोरात बोलतात खूप फास्ट आणि एका शब्दाला पॉज घेतात. द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग इन लाईफ इज मनी. थांबला तो मनीला. म्हणजे त्याला काय सांगायचं, माझ्या ऑडियन्सने मनीवरती लक्ष दिलं पाहिजे, आधीच्या वाक्यावरती नाही. मग सेम थिंग जेव्हा तुम्ही इंटरव्ह्यूमध्ये बोलतायत ना, तर तुम्ही त्या शब्दावरती पॉज द्या जो तुम्हाला वाटतो की तो शब्द हायलाईट होईल. हे करताय का? जसं फॉर एक्झाम्पल तुम्हाला म्हणायचं की सर कन्झर्वेशन प्रोटेक्शन ॲक्ट असं म्हणायचं आहे, तर मी तिथं थांबेल. सर इंडियन कन्झर्वेशन प्रोटेक्शन ॲक्ट 19XYZ, मी तिथे थांबलो, मी जोरात नाही गेलो. हे स्किल आहे, हे स्किल आहे तुमच्या ऑडियन्सला इंटॅक्ट ठेवण्याचं. क्लिअर आहेत का? नेक्स्ट बघा आता एक लास्ट प्रोसेसमध्ये सांगतो एक पॉईंट, डूज अँड डोंट्स. बघा, पहिलं आपण नेहमी क्लोथिंगबद्दल बोलतो, क्लोथिंगबद्दल. आता ही गोष्ट खूप व्यवस्थित लक्षात घ्या. क्लोथिंगबद्दल बोलतो आपण की ड्रेस कसा असला पाहिजे, काय असला पाहिजे. तर खरोखर डू यू थिंक दॅट द ड्रेस ॲक्च्युली मॅटर्स? ड्रेस मॅटर्स? डू यू थिंक दॅट युअर अटायर मॅटर्स? इज मॅटर्स. Have you seen chef in the hotel, waiter in the hotel, dancer on the stage, prime minister, president? Now look at the dressing style of each and every artist, every profession is different. Yes. Why different? Because it represents that field. In school we had that khaki chaddi, pandra shirt. It represents that field. The same way, when you are entering the hall for interview, your attire, your dressing sense should be cope up with the same post you are applying. If I am applying for any other physical post, physical related post, so of course my physical strength should be shown there. Second, if I am applying for a particular intellectual post, so yes, your intellectual quotient will be checked, but the dressing sense should be in the same manner. Like a lawyer, look at the lawyer dressing, they have some coat, right? So it represents that he is a lawyer. The same way, your dressing style should be in a such manner that your post requires it. I will not say that black shirt and white shirt and sari and dresses, it like not like that. But now you tell me whether it should be like a bright color or it's some sort of little bright. Not like that. But it is a question asked. Navnath yesterday met me. He is actually now preparing for interview Rajya Seva. Last year he applied for Rajya Seva as well. The panel asked him, you wore this shirt of the same color because you tried to impress me. That was the question to him last year. You wore this shirt, color of the shirt, that you just tried to impress me. That was the color. He replied, no sir, it is my choice. And he said, it's not like that sir, how can I judge the color with you? So the people think about your color. Now, but dressing, yes, it should be sensitive, it should be some sort of professional, but it should not be too lavish like Deepika Padukone's husband. That Ranveer Singh. Okay. So people will guide you, wear sari, wear shirt, wear whatever. You should wear whatever you feel that is perfect. But one thing I would like to add, your dressing, whatever color, whatever attire, whatever design you choose, fine. But it should not be more designed. It should not be overdressed. It should not be like, somebody will talk more about your dressing and less about your talent. It should be sober. But one thing, another I would like to add, it should be fit to your body. It should not be so loose. In loose, one thing you will lose again, your confidence. Clear? Now, I wear a white shirt today, a plain white. Deliberately, I wore it today, because I knew that I am going to deliver a lecture on body language. Second, I wore a trouser that matches to my shirt. So, in a very first look, you realize, yes, he deserves to teach us. Very simple. He deserves to teach us. Fine. Okay. But if I wore instead this fit one, a very loose one, this trouser is so much loose that will not represent my confidence. My confidence levels here through my communication first, second my body language, and third my attire. Get my point? Get my point? Now we go through the Instagram pages. The same model we see every day in her different dresses, but sometime we stop and looked her closely. तुम्हाला करता मला काय सांगायचं आहे, एका मॉडेल आपण फॉलो करतो, दररोज बघतो कोणतरी ॲक्ट्रेस, हा ठीक आहे ठीक आहे ठीक आहे, कधी ती कुठला ड्रेस पण टाकता पण तिला बघत राहतो, भारी दिसते ही, ॲक्च्युली इथं तीच आहे, काल पण परवा पण तरवा पण दररोज बघतो मीला, आज कसं काय भारी दिसते. द वन थिंग शी चेंज्ड, ड्रेस. गेट माय पॉइंट? सो युअर ड्रेस, so one thing that we don't do in personal life, we do not search that which kind of shirt suits man, which kind of sari suits woman. We don't search it out. Do you know the modeling that John Abraham used to do modeling? They come like this one and this one, they wore a lot of dresses. That modeling is nothing but the representation of your dresses. Very simple. Learn from them the mannerism. I was in Infosys. You know what? In Infosys, there are number of employees. I used to look at men rather than the female. Because the boys in Infosys were so handsome, so neat, so clean. Even if I passed by them, that the smell of their perfume was, out. I used to copy them. I used to learn from their dressing style, their belt, their shoes, the color of the shoes, their hairstyle. And that's why they were manager and they were executive in the company. Get my point? So your half of the personality is sold out through your gesture, posture and your attire. Clear? Work on it. Next, do's and don'ts while. See, we cannot fold shirt like this. We have full sleeves. But do one thing. In that one full sleeve, people, they hide their watches. This is the wrong way. Don't hide it. Put it out. Your sleeve should be here and I will make it clear. Like this. This one. This one. If I put my sleeves over here or my watch, this represents a very local. Don't do this. Watch is for actually look at. It is not something that you can hide. But what should not be like janky panky. Your watch should be professional. It should not be so lighted that somebody is hit it on the eyes. Clear? And it should be such a way that it is a formal watch. It should not be a regular watch or something like a fashionable watch. It should be very formal. Clear? Number next. Now, it is a time to goodbye. Say goodbye to your interview panel. When you say goodbye, so yes, it is a mannerism that you should thank to all. And thanking what? Sir, thank you for your cooperation. Thank you. And I'm going, thank you for your cooperation. Sir, मी आभारी आहे तुमच्या cooperation बद्दल. And then you leave. When you are leaving, when you are actually moving out of the hall, do not look back. Do not look back. It is a bad manner. Look back. किती मार्क्स देता बघूया ना. Not like that. Don't look back. It is a bad manners. It is a bad manner. Clear? So in your don'ts, number 1, eye contact. Don't lose it out. Number 2, body language. Number 3, your hand gestures. Now here one point is, आता नीट आहे का? हे माझे shoulders आहेत. तर माझे हातवारे ह्या शोल्डरच्या वरती नको गेले पाहिजे. असे. मी बोलतोय. सर मला असं वाटतं इथं नको. हे डॉमिनेटिंग आहे. दिस इज डॉमिनेटिंग. नंबर 2, माझी जी पोश्चर आहे ही नॉर्मल असं पाहिजे. अशी एकदम नको किंवा अशी मागे पण नको. नंबर 3, जर मला कोणी प्रश्न विचारतो माझा आय कॉन्टॅक्ट त्यालाच पाहिजे. त्याच व्यक्तीला पाहिजे. आणि नुसतं बघत नका बसू असे. हा पोलाइटनेस झाला. हा ॲरोगन झाला. हा लग पोलाइटनेस. हो सर. बघ हो सर. मग मी इतरांना पण बघेल. नंबर 3, हे झालं. हे थूक गिणणं आहे ना, हे आधीच पाणी पिऊन यायचं. थूक गिळायचं. थूक गिणणं म्हणजे लगेच कळतं की हा काहीतरी थिंक करतोय. नंबर 4, वरती रोल करू नका. अशी आहे असं तिकडे बघू नका. आणि स्माईल, ती खोटाटी स्माईल आणि घाबरीत देऊ नका. की आता सपोज याने मला प्रश्न विचारला, मी इकडे तिकडे बघितलं आणि काहीच समजलं नाही. मग आता बघितलं मी जाऊ दे आता. हे घरीच करून घ्या. ते होतं लगेच रिप्रेझेंट करतं. मी जर तुम्हाला आता एका व्यक्तीला बोलवलं ते इंटरव्ह्यूला आणि जर तुमचा इंटरव्ह्यू घेतला ना, तुम्ही त्या व्यक्तीची बॉडी लँग्वेज चेक करा. तुम्हाला लगेच कळेल की हा सर फेकतोय, हा सर घाबरला, हा भिलेला, हा बघा त्याची बॉडी लँग्वेज. आणि नेक्स्ट, तुमच्या पायाशी खेळत नका बसू ना, हाताच्या बोटाची खेळत नका बसू. जनरली त्या भीतीमुळे ना हात ओले होतात घर घामाने. तुम्हाला वाटतं की ओले झाल्यात तर गुपचूप तिथंच त्या मांडीला पुसून घ्या. पण असे करू नका. असं होतं. माझे व्हायचे. मी जेव्हा बसून राहायचो तर प्रश्न असे विचारायचे आणि ते माझे हात घामाने ओले होऊन जायचे आणि माझे पाय थरथर कापायचे, हात पण थरथर कापत राहायचे. हात थरथर कापतात ना, तर दोन्ही हात तुम्ही बोथ हँड्स यू शुड डू लाईक दिस. जर मी असं बसलोय ना तर मी असं करून ठेवेल. असं नका करू. हे असं डोंट डू दिस. हे असं. किंवा तुम्ही दोन्ही लॅप्सवरती हात ठेवू शकतात. पण दोन्ही लॅप्सवरती हात ठेवले ना त्यात थरथर कापतात दिसतात. आणि आपलं त्यांचं डिस्टन्स लांब असतं. बरं हे माहिती आहे तुम्हाला? लांब असतं. असं एकदम जवळ नसतं. द्या मग टाळी. तसं नसतं ते. तर ते लांब आहे. तर लांब आहे ना, तर तुम्ही पूर्ण दिसतात त्यांना पूर्ण दिसतात. तर ह्या केसमध्ये ना हात थरथर कापतात आपले, ते दिसतात. तर जर ही केस असेल ना तर ते दिसण्याचं प्रमाण कमी असतं. ही केस दोन्ही हात असे. ठीक आहे. तर एकदम मागे पण नाही, एकदम पुढे पण नाही. मी असं मध्ये बसलो, एकदम असं ताट पण नाही. विचारा. हो याचं उत्तर हे. पाठांतर नाही. नॉर्मल एकदम. ठीक आहे. हां सर. हो सर. हां सर मला असं वाटतं मी सगळ्यांना डील करतोय. क्लिअर का इतकं? ओके. आता कोरबद्दल बोलू. कोर सब्जेक्ट बघा. फर्स्ट तुमचा कोर सब्जेक्ट म्हणजे तुमचं ग्रॅज्युएशन किंवा तुमचं पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन. आणि नेक्स्ट कोर सब्जेक्ट म्हणजे तुमचा फॉरेस्ट्री जो असेल, फॉरेस्ट, DYSP, DC. सो नाउ द पॉइंट इज कोर एरिया. फर्स्ट, your impression. People always talk about the first impression. That is the wrong process. What is first impression? Now I meet you today, you got impressed. First impression is the last impression, is wrong. But now tomorrow you saw me somewhere, I am drinking alcohol, and then you realize, arey, he's a drunkard. Now after that we don't meet for 10 years. After the 10 years we came across somewhere at the railway station, and they saw me, arey ha Mahesh Patil, that drunkard. What you kept in your mind? Drunkard. So you kept the last impression, not the first one. Are you getting my point? So last impression always remain for the entire life, not the first. Your teammates, your roommate, take an example, roommate. He enter your room for first day, he behave properly, you say my room partner is good. But after 2 months you realize he actually stealing your money. So he's a wrong guy. So when you separated, for the entire life you have that image about him, he is a thief. So last impression always remain first. Remember this. So what I would like to tell you, if you do not answer properly your first answer, so don't demoralize yourself. If you do not answer your second question, don't demoralize yourself. But your interview may change middle way or the last. If the last 2-3 questions you give properly, that will give you more marks. So it's natural. If I answer wrong in the first way, so I might feel nervous. Arey, chukla maza. Second, arey, chukla maza. Third, I could not answer. Then I feel nervous. My body language, then my confidence goes down. As my confidence goes down, my body language comes down. That both are correlated. So don't feel like my first impression should be last impression. My first answer should be impressive. And the second, third, fourth was wrong. So your last question, your middle questions are important rather than the first one. So think more about the last impression rather than the first. Clear enough? Got it? So what we have to do is, from tomorrow there is one assignment that I am giving to you right now, is do talk to yourself, do observe your body language, do observe your communication, do observe your confidence as well. So how it comes out? Now you want to apply for the interview, I want to get higher marks. So it is not something that happen in one night. It requires a process. Stand in front of mirror, put your hands back and answer the single question. The same way, put your hands in pocket, answer the same question. Same way, hands together in front and answer the same question. In this 3-1, you will realize what body language suits me. It is not like that Patil sir do that, Patil sir does that, same way I should do. It is not like that. It is your personality, it is your own representation that you will do. But you will realize one thing, that till the life, whatever communication I have with my friends, I use very less gestures. And gestures are more important. This facial expression, this single eyebrow represents a lot. This represents shock. Do you know that Kathakali? You might have heard about it. You will read about it. Kathakali. They don't talk. They represent the anger, the love, the respect, compassion. Everything they represent through their body language, through their facial expression. Learn it. Or do one thing. Go to the, very simple, go to the YouTube, type facial expression of confidence. That's it. Very simple. Do it. That knowledge will be added. It will not be reduce your knowledge. It will be added. So do it. Next is your core area. Now if I ask you about chemistry, polity, literature, and if you do not answer, do not fear. Fine. But instead, one thing should be practiced. Number 1, current affair. Number 2, your core subject of graduation. Number 3, the post you deal with. And number 4, that is the highest age, is your communication and your body language. Clear? That is the session that I was trying to tell you.